Hey guys, welcome to How to Scale from 10K to 100K months for online coaches at Agency Owners. It's Jason Grosson here. Looking forward to spending probably about 45, 50 minutes with you guys, sharing with you the steps, the roadmap, and more to go from 10,000 a month to 100,000 a month. Now, as you're watching this, for those that are watching live, thanks for watching. There's a small group here, so we can make this quite personal and I can have a bit of interaction with you guys. I do have the chat box open. Would love to hear where in the world you are and what kind of business you have, even if you know I know that. Kevin, Mark, Melissa, Michael, guys, if you can post that in the chat, that'd be great. And I can tailor this towards your businesses that are watching live. If you're watching the replay on YouTube or in our mastermind or elsewhere, thank you for taking time to watch it. My goal in this session is three things. One is to inspire each of you to think larger, to inspire you to aim larger, to inspire you to build and work towards at least 100,000 a month or $1 million a year business, not for the money, but for the impact and the freedom. So number one is to inspire you to think larger. Number two is to help you build your belief that you deserve it, it's possible for you, and you are capable of doing it if you do the right things. And number three is to create clarity on steps and strategy you need to go from where you are now. Even if you're not on 10K months, you might have one client. You might have no clients. Still share with you the roadmap and the fastest way to go from where you are now to 100K months. They're the three goals or intention I have for this call. Nicole, welcome as well. And throughout the journey, okay, I'm going to be obviously promoting some things because over the last 15 years online, my goal, my passion, my purpose right now is to empower as many online service providers to build $1 million plus a year business. And that's what we're here for. And so I've actually created an agency that offers all the products, all the services, all the resources, all the tools, everything you need along the journey to do that. Whether it's a virtual assistant, whether it's paid ads, whether it's a website, whether it's coaching, whether it's an ebook, whether it's a course, whether it's a mastermind, whether it's a podcast, no matter what you want to do, I've spent essentially the last 15 years refining and evolving this incredible agency where we help you with everything you need to go to 100,000 months. So I'm on a mission. I know it's corny and people say it all the time, but I'm on a mission to empower each of you and work with you personally to get 100,000 plus months fast. Quick question, side note. By the way, if you're watching replay in the YouTube or Mastermind, feel free to interact and comment in there, and I'll come back to it. I do revisit those things. What would it mean for you guys if you were to make $1 million a year? What would it mean for you, Melissa, to be making 100,000 a month? What would it mean for you, Michael, to be making 100,000 a month? Yeah, just post that in the chat. Corinne, how you doing? I'm going to ask you guys some questions. If you post the answers, again, Corinne, welcome. Nicole, welcome. We have a nice small group, can make this quite interactive and personalized. A lot of you guys are already clients as well, so I do have a better understanding as well. We've got Melissa from the Gold Coast, who's a fitness and health well-being coach. Michael in New Orleans, Louisiana, Platinum Mindset. My stuff's in the way here. Mindset Fitness Leadership Coaching, awesome. Yep, nice. Kevin's back, sweet. Mark says it will mean freedom and travel. Mark, by the way, what kind of business do you have, brother? And for you guys that are a business coach or a life coach or a fitness coach or healer or therapist, this is for you. If you have an agency, you could have a social media agency, ads agency, you could have a sales agency, something like that. This is for you. In fact, you could be a SaaSpreneur, software as a service, and you can use these systems. Kevin, give me the freedom to serve who I want from where I want and live. What is this little thing in a way? How do I get rid of this thing? There we go. I live my life with who I want, doing what I want. Yeah. Nice. Nicole from the Gong in New South Wales, transformational coach, RTT practitioner, hypnotherapist. Welcome. For those who haven't answered yet, what would it mean for you to be making $1 million a year? Again, if you're watching a replay, feel free to answer these questions in YouTube and interact. It makes it more engaging for you and more impactful as well. By the way, if you stay to the end, I've got some free resources and free offers for you guys. And at the end, I will be making an offer, and that won't be for everyone, but I will also be sharing and promoting some things along the way because I want to help keep you accountable and give you the strategy. Here's the thing. I used to be a personal trainer for many years. In fact, I had a fitness business for 21 years. If I was to give you a world-class meal program, a meal plan and fitness program, would it guarantee results? It wouldn't. So I can give you the plan, I can give you the recipe, I can give you the strategy, but it doesn't guarantee results. Why not? What's missing? Accountability, mindset, implementation, things like that, right? And so that's where I come in. So I would much rather work with you guys as intensely and closely as possible to help you do it. I built my first seven-figure business back in 2013. It was a fitness nutrition coaching business. And then I built a seven-figure business coaching business. Then I built a seven-figure affiliate business. And then now built a seven-figure agency. In fact, last year we cracked nearly six-figure weeks. So this is something I've done myself a fair few times, and I've helped many people do the same as well. The hardest part's the first 10 to 20,000 a month. Again, if you're not yet on 10 or 20,000 a month, we will touch base quickly on the foundation you need for that, because the 10, 20,000 a month is the foundation. Corinne says freedom to impact more, be able to help out more my family. Yeah. Who wants to be able to help more people, impact more lives? Yeah, we all want to be able to do that. Kevin, DNA-based weight loss, performance, and longevity coaching. Love that. Looking forward to helping get some clients, help some people. Yeah. Mark, brother, what kind of business do you have? Michael, 100K would mean I'm on my way back to making, expand this, what I used to make, be the fuel to keep going and mean I'm helping more people. Oh, here it is, Mark. Thank you. Naturopath and coach. Yeah, that's right. I remember now. Nice. Naturopath and coach. You'll find most people on this call right now are in a similar space: health, wellness, mindset, healing. That space is the biggest space that we work with, and the space we know best. I had a fitness coaching business 21 years, life coaching and healing business 17 years. I've had a business coaching business 15 years. If you've heard of Juice Plus, I was a third top income earner in Australia for Juice Plus, hit the top rank, broke records for that, was involved in a couple of other network marketing businesses. So I understand all these different industries and realms. And like most of you, I'm a student. I have over 50 certifications in coaching. Heck, 2 years ago, I did a certification course in heliophysics, understanding solar cycles, because I'm a student and I like to learn. And if you're a coach and you like to learn and you want to help more people, you're definitely in the right space. And that's another thing. I encourage you to network with each other, get to know each other, because even though I'm in this end as the coach, guiding you, the rudder that helps steer in the right direction, build your belief, give you clarity, give you strategy, keep you accountable, all those things. The other people on the call on your end are going through exactly what you're going through. So it's a great opportunity to network and support each other, do lives together, do podcasts together, support and help each other. Yeah. All right, cool. So again, if you're not yet making 10,000 a month, that doesn't matter too much, because we're going to touch on that anyway. So that's not a problem. So we've all heard the saying, most of us probably heard the saying, 80% of success is psychology, 20% is mechanics. Not sure how accurate that is, but most of us can agree that it's more an inner game than an outer game. The number one thing stopping you from building 100,000 a month is you. We are all the greatest bottleneck in our own business. As the saying goes, we want to get out of our own way. And I find that we tend to project our stuff onto our business, and we attach ourselves to the belief that we are our business and the business is us. But in order for you to go to the next level, every level brings a new devil. The person you were, the mindset you had, the strategy you used, who would agree what got you to where you are now won't get you to the next level? Who agrees that in order for you to get to 100,000 a month, your mindset needs to change? Who would agree? I think we'd all agree with that. Some of you guys are even mindset coaches. Some of you have certifications in NLP and hypnosis and RTT and other modalities, right? So, hey, Vanessa, how you going? Good to see you here. So before we get to the outer game, we have the inner game of business: thoughts, feelings, emotions, beliefs, values, fear, and then we have the outer game of business. So if you've worked with me in any way, shape, or form, you know I always like to start with the inner game, because if you don't decide to build 100,000 a month, if you don't believe it's possible, it really doesn't matter what I do on my end, you're never going to achieve it. So first things first is you want to begin to forge a seven-figure mindset. The first thing you need to do before anything is, you might have doubt right now that it's possible for you. You might not believe it's possible. You might have been trying to do this for 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years. You might feel like an imposter right now. You might not feel good enough. You might have apathy. You might be tired and burnt out. I don't know. But all those things are stopping you from going to the next level. And that comes down to one word: ego. And I'm not talking about egocentrism, right? Where I'm an egotistical maniac, right? That's not what I'm saying. Ego is the voice that pops up inside your mind to try to keep you where you are. When you make a decision to go after a big goal, a voice pops up inside your mind. You're not good enough. You can't do that. How do I do that? Do you guys know the voice I'm talking about? One of my mentors used to call it an idiot, the idiot voice. Another one of my mentors used to call it the great trickster. That voice is your ego. It doesn't want you. The brain's number one job is a protective mechanism. It wants you to be familiar, comfortable, all those things, right? So it knows that when you go after a goal or something you don't yet have, there's going to be setbacks, there's going to be failure, and therefore there's going to be pain. So you need to work on forging a seven-figure mindset every day. How do we do that? Literally sit down and create a caricature or character of what does a seven-figure mindset look like. What are some of the beliefs that you believe a seven-figure coach has? So let's begin to break it down. What do you guys believe? What do you guys believe that someone making $1 million a year? What do you think are some of the beliefs that a seven-figure coach or a seven-figure agency has? I'd love to hear your thoughts. By the way, there's no right or wrong. Just share them. Yep, Corinne's sharing her podcast. Yeah, go away, share, promote, share your stuff, share your socials, get to know each other, have a chat amongst yourself. Yeah, go for it. Yep. What do you guys think that, what is a belief, by the way? A belief is something we feel certain about. Yeah. I believe it's hard to make money. I believe it's hard to build a business. I believe it's hard to meet a soulmate. I believe it's hard to lose weight, which could be true. But also we project that through our beliefs, don't we? Through our behavior. And what do you think some of the beliefs are that a seven-figure owner? Consistency, discipline, showing up when they don't feel like it, believing that they can create anything. Yeah, believing they can create anything. That's a big one, isn't it? It's an abundance frame. If you studied NLP, it's an abundance frame. What do you think? What do you think are the beliefs necessary to make seven figures? A seven-figure coach. Yeah, action, belief, faith, trust. Trust in themselves, trust in the universe, trust in source, trust in God, depending what your belief system is. I often will use the term source, the energy that creates everything. The decision, oh, here we go. Yeah, decisiveness. Oh, they're all coming out now. The decision calling, your new, yeah, your new ID or id. Are you talking about id or ID? I feel like you're talking about id. Surrender. Yeah. So yeah, it's setting a goal and having a plan and not wavering from the outcome, but being flexible with the journey and surrendering to knowing that nothing's going to go to plan and the way it's meant to happen will happen. Massive action, identity. Yeah. Okay, cool. Planning, goals, not an emotional way. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So I believe that the first belief you need to instill is that not only is it possible for you to build to seven figures, but it's impossible to not hit seven figures if you do the work. If you are consistent and you do the right work until you build to seven figures, can you fail? It's impossible. So one of the core beliefs is it's impossible to fail. It's impossible for you to not build to seven figures. Who honestly can say in the heart of hearts, neurologically ingrained at the cellular level, you have that belief? I can guarantee most of you, if not all of you, don't have that belief yet. That's something to work on. Yeah. But imagine if you did form that belief. A great simple way to begin to reframe your limiting beliefs holding you back and realign your psychology is affirmations. To write down those affirmations, to use neuroplasticity through repetition. Nice simple process. Most of you do. Have them on a piece of paper in your wallet or purse and pull them out every hour, every 2 hours. Yeah. I get windows of that belief. Yeah, windows of that, but we want doorways. Big, massive 8-foot double door open doorways, right? And values. Let's look at values. What do you think are the values? What's a value? A value is something that's most important. Oh, with beliefs, in what we do in our coaching programs, Melissa, you've done this. We have a program where we revisit a critical period where you're growing up and look at the beliefs, the limiting beliefs around money and business, and we help you reframe them, and we help you rewire your unconscious through neuroplasticity and other methods. Let's look at values. So your limiting beliefs have been holding you back. You need to forge a seven-figure mindset. Literally, I will give you an exercise to do in your own time. Sit down and write down what you believe the 3 top beliefs are that a seven-figure coach has that you don't have. Make them your affirmations. Then also on a separate piece of paper, or you can do a spreadsheet, I guess, what are the 3 limiting beliefs that have been holding you back up until now? And start working on that consciously. Okay. Your values are the things that are most important in your life. These are your what are your top 3, 4, 5 values in hierarchical dominance order? Meaning, if I ask you right now, what's the most important thing in your life? What would you say? Post it in the chat. Is it family? Is it God? Is it religion? Is it freedom? What's your number one value? Is it people? I can tell you my number one value is freedom. My second value is connection to source. Freedom first, connection to source second. Yeah. Freedom first. Freedom being my number one value. That's why financial freedom is such an important thing for me in my life, because anyone that understands the term financial freedom knows it's got nothing to do with money and everything to do with time. Because when you're financially free, you don't have to worry about paying the bills and working for money, and you can do what you want, when you want, how you want, as Kevin mentioned before, right? So what's the most important thing in your life right now? Just post it in the chat. We'd love to hear that. What's the most important thing? As you're doing that, let's say, Melissa, somebody comes to you, a woman, and she wants to lose 50 kilos. It's a lot of weight to lose, right? If you ask her what's most important in order, she goes family first, yeah, religion, God second, career third, money fourth, and then fifth is health. Is she going to be prepared to do what she needs to lose the weight? It's probably why she's overweight. So we need to become consciously aware of the values and then realign them. Freedom, family, universe, nice, health, yep, yep. And again, Corinne is from the fitness industry, so that makes sense. More energy, yeah, cool. The third one is habits. Now, habits, there is external and internal habits. Internal habits is the internal dialogue and how we speak to ourselves. Some of you, the way you speak to yourself, the way you bully yourself, if somebody else spoke to you that way, you'd punch them in the face, or at least want to. You've got to recognize that self-talk. So what's the internal dialogue that you habitually keep telling yourself, because that's what you're creating and manifesting. And a lot of us grew up poor with scarcity mindsets and frames that we need to rewire unconsciously. Yeah. Success, freedom, health. Yeah. Okay. So let's look at the outer game though. What do you think the number one, number two, number three, what do you think the top couple of habits are of a seven-figure coach? What do you guys think? What's and not in a game, out of game? What do you think some of the habits are? Like, are they learning? Are they studying? Are they focused on market? What are the habits, do you think? What are some of the top habits of a seven-figure coach, a seven-figure earner? Just in the chat. What do you guys think? Yeah, loads of act. What specific action? Like, what specific habit? What is a habit? A habit is a behavior that's repeated over and over unconsciously. Yeah. Discipline, consistency, system, leadership. What about specific habits? I'll give you an example of one of mine. When I first wake up in the morning, it's business time. Do you know what the first thing is? Can anyone guess what the very first thing is I do in the morning when I start my business time? The very first thing I do. Very first thing I do is I plan and manifest. I create my day in advance. So that's number one. You know what the second thing is I do? Yeah, breath work and intentions, I do that before. Like, I do meditation, stretch, breath work, shower, cold shower. I do something. It's not normally all those things, but like this morning last 3 mornings I meditated first thing and stretched. Listened to Porangwai, if you've heard of Porangwai, yeah. Yeah. But when I start my business, so like when I get up, I'll either do some breath work, meditation, stretch, one of those things, get my mind right, have a cold shower. I'm fasting, I'll smash a whole of water. But when I sit down for business, the first thing I do is I plan my day in my mind, reverse engineer it. But when it's down to business, you know what the next thing is to do? IPA, income producing activities. Very first thing I'm looking at, how do I make money today? Yeah. Grant Cardone says, who's got my money? Now, some of you will have a resistance to that because your goal is to help people, and that's fine. But the only way you can help people, Corinne, is if they become a paying client. I can inspire you and impact your life if you watch my content, attend an event, whatever. But the only way I can help you transform your life in business, Melissa, is if you become a client, which you are. Only way I can help you transform your life in business, Corinne, would you agree, is if you become a client. So you've got to understand, as Tony Robbins says, our income, revenue, net worth is a direct reflection of our contribution to society. The more you give, the more you receive. They go hand in hand. You want to help more people, make more money. You want to make more money, help more people. You cannot do one without the other in some way, shape, or form in business, the context of business. I want to interview. Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah, have a chat. Cool. So I would sit down and go, what's the number one belief? What's the number one value? What's the number one habit? And start to consciously create those. The fourth is emotional intelligence. All right, this one's going to hurt some of your feelings. Is it okay if I hurt you? Is it okay if I tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear for a second? Is it okay? Some of you are too reactive. Here is the key. When you dissociate emotionally from what other people do and say, that's when your business will explode. Let me give you an example. How much does it suck when you spend a lot of time on a prospect and you book them in for a call or a consult and they don't show up? Who agrees? A little frustrating. Okay. We can't control whether somebody accepts our friend requests, joins the group that we invite them to. We can't control if somebody shows up. We can't control if somebody signs up. I can't control if you show up to the event. I can't control whether you stay a client or quit. What do you have more control over in life? What you can get or what you can give? I can't control what I get. I can influence, but I cannot control the weather we get, the response I get. I can influence it by getting better, yes. So I don't focus on that. I just show up and do the best I can. Today, we have this. This is the smallest webinar I've done in 15 years. The important people that are meant to be here are here. Right? This is an opportunity to spend time with you and serve you, those that have showed up and given me the respect to give me a 45 minutes an hour to an hour of your time, which is you're valuable. So thank you for valuing my time. I value yours. I want to serve you. We show up and we do the best we can. Whether people show up or not, whether people sign up or not, whether people quit or not, makes no difference to me. There's so many people to talk to. There's so many people out there. There's so many people to help. There's 8 of you on this call. If I can help you all build to 7 figures, and that's all I did in my entire life, that's not a bad, that's pretty impactful. How many clients do I have to help each of you get? 50. That means I've inadvertently helped 400 people totally change their life. That's not bad. Okay. Now I'd like to do more, a lot more, but I think we get too caught up. So you need to form emotional intelligence, thick rhino skin to be less reactive over to what's happening in your business. Stop playing the emotional roller coaster game, play the numbers game. Does that make sense? Yeah. The final thing, I'm not going to spend too much time on it because we're already running behind, is the 4 health quadrants. A 7-figure coach prioritizes health. They're prioritizing the spiritual, physical, emotional, and mental health habits, be it breath work, meditation, some form of somatic emotional work for the nervous system and the vagus nerve, physical activity, be it the gym or yoga or running. Yeah. Eating healthy nutrition. I fast, drinking lots of water, especially spending a lot of time on laptop. And then things like attitude and gratitude and affirmations and personal development. I've never met a 7-figure coach long-term that doesn't focus on those things. And many of you are in that space as well. If I was to ask you which of these things is holding you back most, a lot of you are probably going to say limiting beliefs. I encourage you to work on them. Okay. Before I give you the strategy, the steps for 7 figures, I just want to revisit the foundation. So almost all of you, actually all of you except for Mark, are either in the current group program or joining the next group program. And so we have 2 business coaching programs. One is the startup program, which is how to launch and build to 20,000 a month. And we have the scaling program, which is to go from 20,000 to 100,000 a month. There's 2 programs. So all of you are in or about to start the 20,000 a month one. 20,000 a month is the foundation. That's all it is. It's not the end goal. It's not the big goal. It's the foundation to build on. So the group business coaching program, you guys, most of you, almost all of you in, that's the foundation program. That's just to lay the foundation. Okay. I just want to revisit the foundation because once that's laid, then we can build something long lasting and strong. If you're not yet making 10 or 12,000 a month, who can remember 20 years ago when 6 figures was a lot of money? 23 years ago, I was making 140,000 a year as a personal trainer. I thought I was rich. It was a lot of money for a 23-year-old, and back then it was a lot more money. Who agrees 10,000 a month is not a lot of money now? Mark, if you're making 10,000 a month right now, you pay your taxes, living expenses, your mortgage or your rent, food, your utilities, you're left with a couple $100 a week. You might be able to go on a trip a year. You probably struggle at 10K. The new 6 figures is 250,000. The minimum goal for each of you is 20,000. That's the minimum goal. That's the next step. That's not the big goal. And a lot of you are so caught up and stressed about paying bills or little things not working or a Canva here or a banner here or a grammar here or a VA doing only 2 hours a day here. You guys are thinking too small. If you're getting stressed about small problems, your goals aren't big enough, you're not focusing on it. So entrepreneurs and business owners spend more time. Here's a habit of a 7-figure coach. Does a 7-figure coach spend more time in the past, present, or future? Where do you think successful business owners spend most of their time? Past, present, or future? What do you think most of them spend their time? Past, present, or future? The most. What do you
Future
guys think? Michael says the future.
and
There's a
or
reason they call
president.
it, there's a reason why they call people like Elon Musk a visionary, regardless of what your thoughts are him, especially in the political landscape right now. All that aside, business owners spend the most amount of time in the future because they're creating and manifesting and bringing it into the present. Now, there's a time to learn from the past, exactly. But there's a reason the rear vision mirror on your car is a lot smaller than the window, the windscreen at the front. We look forward, we focus forward. There's a time to be in the present, be in the now, 100%. When you're with family, when you're meditating, all those things. I'm at the gym, I'm fully present. 100%. There's time for that. But what do you spend there's 166 hours in the week, and we're business owners. What do we spend more time on and with than anything else? Business. I'm working 80 hours a week. Literally half my week is my mission. But this business is not just, a lot of even my family, they don't understand it. Why is business so important to you? Everything's about business. Why are you talking about business? I've had partners in the past that don't get it. Michael, you know this. It's not about business. This is my life. This is my purpose. It's my mission. This is my baby. The team of the family I choose, the clients of the family I choose. I live and breathe for this. And most people don't get that. You guys get that. So if I want to draw seven figures in, I need to spend a lot of time in the future. And again, there is a time and a place for each. They each have a place, right? Remember, the brain doesn't recognize the difference between remembering the past, experiencing the present, and imagining the future. I joke often, Michael, and say I remember the future better than I remember the past. I don't spend bugger all time in the past. The only time I spend time in the past, at the end of each day, I review my day and go, what's I ask myself four questions at the end of each day because I want to grow every day. Kaizen, constant never-ending improvement. Kanai, as Tony Robbins calls it. I review the day. I used to journal, but it took me too long, and I find it very difficult to find half an hour just to journal now. So I answer four questions. There's only four ways you can change. I got this from Brian Tracy. The four ways I can change. I can start doing something, stop doing something, do less of something, do more of something. So at the end of each day, I ask myself, what did I do today I want to stop doing? I ask myself, what did I not do today I want to start doing? I ask myself, what did I do today I want to do less of? What did I do today I want to do more of? That's all I do at the end of each day. I'm reviewing it. Okay. The other time I look at the past is when I'm reviewing tracking sheets and numbers. Okay. If there's an experience or altercation with a person, and I want to review that because wisdom is an experience. Wisdom is reviewed experience. Oh, I had this argument here, I had this confrontation here, or we let this customer down here. How can we make it better next time? I'm just asking those four questions and improving all the time. Can you write those questions down? I was waiting for someone to ask that. Yeah, I can do that. Start some. I'll just do this because it prompted it. Stop something, less of something, more of something. There's only four ways you can change. What did I not do today? I want to start doing. What did I do today? I want to stop doing. What did I do today? I want to do less of, more of. Start, stop, less, more. Nice and easy. Yeah. It's nice and easy to remember too. Start, stop, less, more. It's really easy. It's a great way to review. I love journaling, but again, it can take a bit of time. I used to keep a dream journal and then I journaled my day. It just took me so much time. And I found myself spending too much time in the future. Sorry, in the past. Okay. So the foundation, I'm not going to spend much time on this because you're all going through this in the program, right? Or about to. The 20K program is built around refining sales SOPs, putting the Facebook funnel system together to show how to get clients every day from a group, having regular events, webinars, masterclasses, challenges. Okay. And we focus all your energy on getting booked solid with one-on-one clients. So to build to seven figures, you have the roadmap and the recipe, but you always focus on one main thing. So all of you should have one main goal right now, one main target. That's to get booked solid with one-on-one clients. Why would I suggest first step you get booked solid one-on-one clients? Could be 5 clients, could be 10 clients, could be 15 clients. That's a good question. How many one-on-one clients can you guys handle? Let's post that in the chat. 5, 10, 15. It's normally somewhere between 10 and 20, I find, for most people. How many one-on-one clients can you guys handle? Just post it in the chat. Not everybody wants that, but it's not about want. The reason why I recommend we start with one-on-one normally is because the fastest way to build your top line. Smaller your business, the more important top line is, less important bottom line is. If you're making 10,000 a month, who cares about profit margins? It's such a small number. You're making $1 million a month, profit margins start to matter. You're making $1 billion a month, profit margins are more important than top line, right? Okay, so how much revenue per year is 10 clients, Melissa? How much revenue per year is 10 clients, Nicole? How much revenue, Kevin, is 10 clients? What's the revenue per year for that for one-on-one? What's the revenue per year, per week, per month? Just give me a number per week, month, or year on that. Okay. The other reason we launch one-on-one, it's you don't need as many. It's like the difference between boot camp and face-to-face personal training. You know, let's say I charge $100 a session to make 500 a week. I only need 5 clients in a park, right? Use this example, some of your fitness in the fitness space. Let's say I charge $20 for a boot camp. Yeah. I need five, I need 50 people. I need 10 times more people. Let's say I double the price. I still need, you know, 2, 3, 4 times more people, 2, 3, 4 times more leads. So it's actually harder. But we look at it and go, oh, but I can make 500 an hour instead of 100 an hour. So I'm making 5, but it's harder, it's slower. Okay, you also need more leads. So first step first is you get book solid one-on-one, even if it's 5 clients, and then you launch group, which I'll come back to. So that's 10,000 right there, Nicole. That just proved my point. Focus all your energies, get one-on-one. Just focus on one service, get one-on-one. I know nobody wants to be so busy you can't get any busier, but that's the first step, is to get as busy as you ever want to be. Never get any busier, then keep making more money. That's the fastest way. There you go. There you go. See, that's the foundation. It's really that simple. Now, when you get there, now the fun begins. The sooner you get here, you alleviate at least the fun, because most of you can pay your bills here. You can pay your bills. You don't have to stress too much about money. You got everything covered, right? Yeah, there you go. Sweet. So, okay, now let's begin. So we're on 10 or 20,000. We book solid one-on-one. That's what the group program is going to help you do. Then we launch group coaching. Okay, let's talk about that. Now, here's the thing about group. Who wants to have a group program of some kind? Everybody wants to have a group program, right? In the coaching space. So I launch a business coaching program. I get my 10, 15 clients. I don't want to be any busier. So my core offer at that point is my one-on-one coaching. When you get to a point, Michael, where you don't want any more clients, what happens is you launch a group program, and that becomes your core offer, and your one-on-one becomes an upsell. So if my one-on-one coaching, if let's say that I charge $5,000 for my one-on-one program, okay, but it's my core offer, and then I launch a group program, what can I do to the price of my one-on-one program now? It's the upsell, and I'm booked solid and don't want any more clients. I'm maintaining. I can increase the price. Okay. So, okay, well, it's $5,000. I have 15 clients. Sweet. I'm going to double the price of my one-on-one to 10 grand. I'm going to launch a group program. Okay. Guess how much I'm going to charge for the group program? What's the most important part of how much you charge? There's 2 things. Number 1 is how you think and feel about the price. And number 2 is what your prospect thinks and feels about the price. And the most important part from their perspective is that it flows and makes sense. Okay. So here's what I've found. The best way to structure pricing for group program. Now, you might not be ready for this, but it's good information to have in the future, because what are we doing right now? You're planning ahead. You're manifesting. You're creating in your mind right now. That's what we're doing here. Some ways it's a manifestation session, right? So what we do is we launch a group program. Okay. It's half the price. Okay. So Michael, okay, I'm on a call with Michael, and I can say to Michael, hey, you can join me for my one-on-one program. It's 30 minutes each week, and it's going to be 10 grand. However, Michael, I believe you should invest in, based on what you're telling me today, the group program, because you get an hour a week, so it's twice the amount of time for half the price. How would you like to spend twice the amount of time with me and Michael for half the price? How would you like that? Not bad, right? And now the group program is 5,000. Okay, that's how I normally position it. Okay, when we get to that point. Okay, now there's many ways to do things. I'm looking at it objectively, and I'm always looking at it psychologically. Michael's attitude, your thoughts and feelings, prospect's attitude, thoughts and feelings. This is the most important part. Value, results, value. Yeah, and when we create the pitch deck, we add value. I'm going to show you that in a moment. How do we determine how we launch the group? So there's 2 main ways to do a group program. You can do a cohort. Some people in the spiritual world call it container. Or you can do an evergreen. What's the difference? A cohort is what you're all doing. It's a 12-week program. Everyone starts and finishes at the same time. Okay. That has strengths and weaknesses. An evergreen is people can come and go whenever they want. Which one do you think is going to be the smart choice if you've got a newer business, a smaller business, and not a big following? What do you guys think? Yeah, the cohort. Why? There's many reasons. We could go on and on, because even if you only get 3 or 4 people, it's going to make sense. It's more forgiving and so forth as well. Everybody starts and finishes at the same time. They go through the same process. What's the problem with the cohort though? What happens at the end of 12 weeks? People stop paying. We want to create consistent income. Here's the 2 ways we can create consistent income. Number one, you have 2 cohorts always running. So I have a 12-week cohort running right now that Melissa is in and Nicole is in. The next one starting in 3 weeks, which Corinne is in, Kevin is in. Okay. And guess what's going to happen then? Another one. So I'll always have 2 cohorts running. So there's always the same amount of revenue coming through. The other option is, you guys don't know this, Nicole and Melissa. I'll let you know though. Nicole and Melissa, when you guys stop, 2 things. I want to keep being able to work with you and add value to you. And of course, let's be really transparent. I want to make money from you, from the business. Don't you guys want to do that? Don't you want to keep working with your clients long enough to transform their life and business and have the business still make money? 100%. That's called business. It's called being transparent, being honest. So at the end of the cohort, you want to have a more affordable continuation offer. So what I'm actually doing is I'm launching an evergreen coaching program, which kicks off 2 weeks after the end of the next cohort. Okay. And it's only going to be $100 a week. It's going to be half the price of the group program. So Corinne and, sorry, not Corinne, Melissa and Nicole, you'll learn about soon. So Melissa and Nicole, if you want to keep working with me in the group format, in an evergreen format, we can keep working together for $100 a week, Aussie, 65 USD. Isn't that crazy? So there's some things to think about if and when you're ready to launch a group. Okay. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I've never done that, Nicole. I'm like, I was sitting down the other day and I'm like, how do I help? I literally like, Nicole, Melissa, all of you guys. I'm like, how do I keep serving you? We've got the mastermind that's not quite ready to launch. We'll come back to that. I'm like, let's launch an evergreen and make a really affordable option. We have an hour call every week. You still get access to me. I think it's going to be awesome. Yeah. In regards to, so that's all covered. Here's in regards to launch. We have a full 8-week launch process that we help you with. But here's the biggest thing that I'll tell you about group coaching launch. The bigger the event, the longer you want to market it. How long do you think you need to market and promote a group program for? What's the minimum amount of time you think you want to market a group coaching program? You guys in the program have got access to my course. You've probably seen it. At least 8 weeks. There's 3 phases. There's the announcement, there's the pre-launch, and then there's the official launch. And because what we do is we give away a prize draw, we do a couple of webinars, we do a challenge, and we do it as an 8-week campaign. We funnel people into the events. We sell it in group format in the events like I'm doing today. But then anyone's followed up and booked in for a one-on-one sales call. Because what you've got to remember, Nicole, is that every sales call that you're doing at this point, you're not selling one-on-one, you're selling the group program. So every sales call you're doing, we should be aiming for that 10 appointments per week. You're now getting group. So even if you only get 2 group clients a week, you've got 16 clients in 8 weeks. Yeah, it's just a great process. Yeah. Okay. The group that you're in, Nicole, is the only group I've never not booked solid in 8 years. And the only reason is because a little unwell, no Christmas, New Year hit, we didn't get a chance to market it, and we went ahead with it nonetheless. Yeah. Okay. Any questions on group coaching? So first things first, focus all your energy, get a book solid one-on-one using our strategies. Once you get to the point, oh, I don't want any more one-on-one, update your pitch deck, your offer, so your core offer is your group program. Any questions on that? Okay, cool. Once you're launching group, you've got to look at your 7-figure team. Now, this will probably start before then. As you guys know, I'm a huge fan of virtual assistants. There's 4 people you need for 7 figures. You can have more, you can have less. But I think these are if I lost everything and I started again and built 7-figure business, these are the 4 people I want. Number 1, full-time social media manager. Okay. This is what you want ultimately. At least 1 full-time social media manager that's helping you with attention and leads. Top of the marketing funnel. Number 2, you want at least 1 full-time appointment setter. I'd actually recommend 2. 1 phone call setter, 1 DM setter. But the best thing you guys can do is, as soon as possible, a full-time setter. Now, when you're at the early phases, if you're still not book solid one-on-one, you hire 1 person to do both. So Nicole, Melissa, you guys, you have a virtual assistant doing social media management and appointment setup. So you want to get some clients so you can increase them to full-time and then expand from there. Imagine, Melissa and Nicole, you had somebody full-time 40 hours a week right now, just booking appointments. Do you think it's going to guarantee you guys get 10 appointments? 100%. You want to get to that as soon as possible. That's the priority. Yeah. So you can merge the tasking until you can expand and justify financially. That's how you build a business. You bring some revenue, take a portion of the profits, reinvest it for expansion. Okay. Third thing is you need a salesperson. This is why we're launching the Sales Academy soon. You need somebody to sell because you're limited. You're going to be busy. You're going to be busy. You're going to be busy. You don't want to be so busy. So we all love what we do. So Nicole, you probably don't want a business that does work without you. But Nicole, how would you like a business that can work without you? So if you went to Hawaii for a week or two, came back, your business is still running, making more money. We all want that. Who does not want that? For that, we need team. We need people. We need people generating leads, people booking appointments, and people selling the appointments. So to have a business that can work without us, we need four things, don't we? We need people generating leads, people booking the sales calls, the appointments, which is also the events, people selling them. What's missing? We need a fourth person to service those clients. We need a coach. Okay. So these are the four things we need on there. I just realized that there's a fifth bullet point that's below that you can't see. So my bad. But anyway, so social media manager, someone to generate leads, someone to book appointments, someone to sell the appointments, and someone to service the clients. That's ultimately what you want to have. And Melissa, you ultimately want to have at least one coach. Nicole, you ultimately want to have at least one coach. You might think, well, I don't want that. Well, you don't have to, I guess. Just means you'll be doing all the coaching. What if you have a group program and you're unwell? You got 30 people waiting. Your coach could take care of it. I just think it's good to have that hedging strategy. You only need 3 or 4 people for a 7-figure business. You don't need a big team. You don't need to model. In fact, don't model me. I encourage you not to. My business there's a lot going on. I don't recommend it for people. I definitely do not recommend launching a VA agency, by the way. All of you already know that we have the VA agency. So any questions on team? Yeah, by the way, if you have any questions, guys, just ask. Yeah. Hey, Vickers, hey, brother, how you doing? So, okay, we've laid the foundation. We've got the 10 to 20,000 a month. We're launching group coaching. We're building our team. If you want to build a 7-figure business, and again, we're reverse engineering it, you want to have a central hub. I would invite everyone to write this down. What does a social media manager do? They help you with attention, get your content everywhere, and generate leads. Yeah, I know. Yeah. They won't be able to hear it. Yeah, because it blocks out background. Yeah. So here is the recipe for a 7-figure business. You ready? I'm going to type it. Once you have the mindset in the outer game, here's how to scale a business. Here's the recipe in the chat. SOPs plus team plus a CRM, central hub, plus AI. That's the key to scaling a business, a big business. You'll notice that's what we focus on. I'm an SOP freak. I'm building a virtual team. I have 13 VAs. I've just brought on 5 setters. I'm about to bring on 3 new sales team. Okay. And a CRM. A CRM is your central hub. It's a platform where everything is kind of organized into one place. In our VA agency, we use Slack. Slack has 13 integrations. Everything's in it, works. For our coaching consulting company, we use Mighty Networks, the mastermind platform I'll touch on shortly. And for our overall company and whole agency, because our agency has 4 businesses, there's a lot going on. We use Go High Level. Kajabi is example. Yep, Kajabi, Kartra, Go High Level, Systemi, which has become very popular. There's a whole heap of them. I personally use Go High Level, so I normally suggest, look, this is what I'm using, what I recommend you use. Go High Level is great because it's got phone, SMS, email. We can link AI to it. It's got an automatic scheduling system. You've got your schedule in there, social media pipeline, workflows. You can put your courses in there. You can create websites in there. You can put funnels in there. Right now, it is the overall best all-in-one platform. Can you transfer online course to Go High Level? Yes, you can. Exactly. Yeah, you'll notice I'm still using ClickFunnels. I use ClickFunnels 6. ClickFunnels is great for funnels, courses, and stuff, but it's not a central hub. It's not like one place for everything. Yeah. Can you write that down, that platform? Corinne, for you, don't worry. If you're in the coaching program, just wait because I'm going to help you set this up in the program when you're ready. One thing at a time. But yeah, we will help you set that up. We'll go through the central hub, the Go High Level, and heck, don't choose Go High Level. Choose whatever you want. But and it's not a priority right now. But in the future, it will become, yeah, because it just streamlines everything, brings everything together. I've got setters and team in there, so it's awesome. So that central hub has your funnels and your website, because you're going to want funnels and a website. Once you've got at least 2 or 3 services, you want the website, you want the funnel sooner as well. So you want just one place where everything is nice and simple, nice and easy, keeps it all streamlined. Yeah. Okay, cool. Around the 10 to 20,000 mark is also when you want to start paid ads. When I started business coaching 15 years ago, I'd say don't worry about ads for 50 to 100,000 months. Around COVID, I started saying 20,000 a month. Now I'm like, as soon as you bloody can. 10,000 a month, start ads. We can take care of ads for you. Do you know how much it costs to pay us to do your ads per week? $300 a week, Aussie. 200 USD will take care of all your ads a week. That's all it costs. Right? You also get a free VA. We set up the bot and ManyChat and everything for free for you. You want to start doing ads as quickly as possible. I did touch on this in the workshop a couple of weeks ago, so just very quickly on this. Paid ads, you have top, middle, and bottom of funnel. 3 ads. Here's what we can help you set up and what I suggest when you do that. Top of the funnel is a free event. For example, our VA agency, we've got win 6 months free VA. Your top of the funnel is an ad to target new cold people that don't know who you are. Middle of the funnel, which is your retargeting and the people that know of you, familiar with, I would have a free offer. Okay, we have our free VA kit. It could be a free course or an ebook. And the bottom of the funnel, which is your hot and warm people, is to book a call. It's your appointment setting. Okay, in a nutshell. But you want to begin ads as soon as possible. We can take care of that when you're ready. Most of you are not ready. Once you hit that about 8,000-10,000 a month, I would seriously look at it as soon as possible. You test ads on about $5 or $10 a day ad spend. Because the first month with ads, you're not paying for leads or clients, you're paying for data. Yeah. We just launched our new ads yesterday for our mastermind, actually, which is pretty cool. Remember, this is for 7 figures as well. You also want to create your digital course. So at this stage, you've got one-on-one, you've got group coaching. Now, here's a hot tip. I want everyone to hear this and remember this. Your first or at least your second group coaching program, record every session. And then what you can do is take your 12-week coaching program and you turn it into a digital course. And now you can add that as something you sell. You add it as a drop sell in your pitch deck. If people don't want to, they want to do it in their own time. You can now sell it on the back end of your funnels when you're doing ads to fuel the ad spend. You can give it to your clients for free to add to value like I do with you guys. And now you can start posting people and sending people a welcome letter and kit, which is what we do. Okay. So most of you have seen ours in the business coaching program. You've seen ours. Quick look for those who haven't seen it. Now, I didn't do this for 8 years in my program, but here is the digital version of the program. Most of you have seen this. Here's the welcome and the pre-study. Here's all the modules. Here's the sales recipes. This is very in-depth. Now, what you're doing when you're doing your one-on-one program and your group programs, you're creating and putting everything together. So when you're ready to put this together, you've almost got everything. It doesn't take months. So many people make the mistake of spending 3 to 6 months creating a course and then it doesn't sell. On a side note, selling courses as a standalone course to make money is pretty much dead. 3 ways we use it. 1, add value to clients, gives them an awesome resource. Number 2, back end of funnels to fuel ad spend to pay for the ads. Number 3, in a subscription model in a mastermind, which I'll come back to. So most of you won't be ready for this for probably 6 months. But again, we're painting the picture for 7 figures. Step 1, get Bookstore one-on-one. Step 2, launch a group, really get the team going. Step 3, look at your ads in your central hub. Then I would look at the digital. This is not a priority. When you've got most of what you need, where you should be at a point where it only takes you a week or 2 to get it set up. All right. We can even help you with that if you wanted to as well. Okay. Now, the other cool thing is that, all right, so this is my pitch deck for my business coaching. A lot of you have seen this. So people talk about an irresistible offer all the time, but we're not talking about an irresistible offer in a funnel. We're talking about an irresistible offer when you get on a sales call or in an event. Remember, an event like this is a sales call. Okay. So ultimately, you can see here, I've got 3 options for our business coaching. The core offer in the middle, can you see it? Group coaching. The upsell, one-on-one coaching. And what's the downsell? Here's the digital course. So we sell that course as a standalone for $497. We can actually do a payment plan. Here is the upfront and the payment plan for the group coaching. Here's the upfront for one-on-one. Now, this one-on-one coaching is not with me. It's another coach. In about 6 to 8 weeks, I'm going to be looking to hire 1 or 2 coaches. Who would like the possibility of being a coach in our business? Anyone like that? Yeah, stay tuned. That's coming. Yeah. So now we've got this system. So when we sell, so this is what you're creating ultimately. This is what you want your pitch deck to look down the track. Does it make sense? Bye, babe. Love you. Have a great day. Partners is heading off to work. Yeah. Okay. Does that make sense, guys? Does that look good? This looks pretty good, right? Pretty professional. So some people might want groups, some people might want one-on-ones, some people want, maybe it's affordability. There's options. There is a fourth thing that we add. The ultimate seven-figure offer is a core offer, group, upsell one-on-one, and 2 downsells. Who can guess what the second downsell is second to the digital course? Who can guess what it is? This is how you scale. So some of you will look at what I've shared with you and go, I don't want that. Who wants to get 10 or 15 clients and do 1 or 2 groups and stay there and be that busy and just stay there? Nobody. How do you scale from that 20, 50,000 mark to the 100,000 plus month marks? Who can guess? By launching a mastermind. You want to have a subscription model. All of you should be thinking in advance, how can you turn everything into a subscription model where people pay you $50, $100, $200 a month and get access to a whole heap of stuff. Think of it like a mastermind. Okay. So Alex Hormozi uses School, super popular. I looked at the 13 top mastermind platforms last year. School is good, but it's actually not, in my opinion, I will avoid best. It's not the most functional because it actually doesn't have API still, so you can't use AI with it. The other 2 big ones are called Circle and Mighty Networks. I've chosen Mighty Networks to build a free mastermind and turn it into a paid mastermind. So Alex Hormozi teaches similar to what I teach, which is when you get your group and your one-on-one book sold and you got that down pat and you're ready to scale, you need a subscription-based model. So you got one-on-one, one-to-many, and then one-to very many. Okay. This is how you get passive income. This is how you scale your business. You've got all the courses, you've got all the offers, you've got all this content you can put into a community that's educational and networking. Yeah. So let me just stop sharing here. We'll wrap it up. We've got about 5 minutes. We're almost done. So if you have a look, so here is my free mastermind. I'm using a platform called Mighty Networks. Okay. So I've created this platform here that you can join for free. What's going on my mouse here? It's really weird. Okay. So you can join us for free. And here's what's in here. So here's the free mastermind. It's got a calendar of events coming up in here. So you can see all of our events. Okay. There's a live chat room in here. So here's the event today. So we have a chat room in here. We stream our podcast through here. So I'm launching our Surge podcast with our Surge Mastermind all at the same time. And the only place you can watch the video version of the podcast is in here. Now, the awesome thing is your mastermind and your podcast are 2 new lists because people subscribe. Okay. I'll come back to that. We've got virtual trainings in here. There's over 100 webinars in here. Over 100 webinars. So you've got all these webinar recordings in here. Look at all these, heaps of them. Look at all these, all these. There's masterclasses in here. We run our challenges through here. We've got all of our courses in here. This is all free right now. So all these are courses, free. We've got some books in here, free. So this is a free mastermind. So what we're doing is we're building our free mastermind. Okay. Now it has an awesome automatic onboarding system. I think Corinne just went through it. There's a getting started section and a checklist that you can tick off and you come through it. So it's a networking educational platform where everything's in here. So right now we did a pre-launch last year, but I got ill. So we're just in the middle of pre-launching again now. You'll see it over the next few weeks everywhere. So our goal is to get to 1,000 members. I think we've got just over 500. Excuse me. How many members are? So there we've got 536 members already. So once we've got 1,000 members, we'll launch our paid membership. We're launching 2 paid. We're launching the 6-figure mastermind. Once we get to 5,000 members, we're going to launch a 7-figure mastermind. They're going to be paid. The 6-figure is going to be $49 a month. And then when the 7-figure launches, that'll become $99 a month. Okay. And we'll get people joining and subscribing. So people can join the free, they can join the 6-figure, or they can join the 7-figure. They'll start at $49 and $99 a month, and then they'll double. We'll have a foundational membership. First 100 people will get a hard price. That makes sense. So you guys aren't ready for this, but this is going to be a much bigger part of what we're doing. And this is what we teach in the scaling program. So once you hit the 20,000 a month, we help you set all this up. We teach you how to do this. All right? We're running ads to this as well. Now, you know what's really cool about this, Michael? I can DM all those 500 people right now. I can send them all a private message. Yeah. I can chat, I can interact. Now you can run events through here. You can run summits through here. Okay. Now we also sell all our products, and you see here, here's a list of all our products and services. We're setting them all up at the moment. We can sell stuff through here. I've got a DM setter in here having conversation, welcoming people and booking them in for appointments and selling. We've got sales team in here. Okay. We've got you can put your cohort in here, so your coaching program, which is soon we're going to run our coaching stuff through here as well. Okay, how cool is that? Right. So it might not be Mighty Networks, but down the track, if you want to build a 100K a month, you want to have a subscription model of some kind. You can call it whatever you want. You don't have to call it a mastermind, call it whatever you want. But who likes the idea of having a subscription model down the track and being able to create passive income? That's what you should all be thinking about. The faster you get Book Solid one-on-one and then launch group, the faster you can get the subscription model going. Yeah. And they're super hot right now as well. Facebook groups are great, but they're hard to interact. There's restrictions and you could lose it as well. I recommend when you launch the mastermind that you also launch it with a podcast. Podcast doesn't take much time. You can do a half-an-hour interview once a week, have one of our VAs upload it to iTunes, all that, take care of it and get it everywhere, YouTube and everywhere. Tie it into the mastermind. So we do a video podcast, launches in 2 weeks. I'm going to be looking for people to interview in 2 weeks. The video version can only be found in our mastermind. Everywhere else is just audio. You can subscribe to iTunes and Spotify, but it's audio. So cool. Any questions on that? Get ready to wrap this bad boy up. Okay, thanks, Michael. Awesome. And finally, okay, you want to track, refine, and scale until you succeed. You want to have the full organic Facebook funnel system, which none of you have yet. Melissa and Nicole, you've been working on it for weeks. You still don't have that down pat. That Facebook funnel system organically needs to be in full swing with the funnels. You need to have the other socials set up with your VA doing the omnipresence, always having the regular events, the webinar, masterclass, challenges, daily email marketing, the team growing, the ads running, and the go high level. These are the things that ultimately down the track, if you have set up, we can refine. Probably should add mastermind in there as well, right? So we track everything. We track the weekly KPIs and we know the numbers. We track everything. We get the data, we refine it, and we keep improving and being flexible with these elements until we succeed. Okay. You guys know that the number one reason that I talk about all the time, why you're not building your business more fast, is lack of appointments. Right now, what's the fastest way to get more clients? One-on-one or group? More appointments. That's one-on-one sales calls and events. You guys have probably seen in a couple of weeks, I'm doing a free 7-day appointment setting blitz. I'm going to work with you guys personally over 7 days, book 3 appointments a day. You're going to see that everywhere. But we're out of time. So I just want to wrap this up. This is the last slide, second last slide. The final thing that's missing here is your financial systems. You need to make sure that you have your financial systems in place so your business doesn't implode. There's 4 main spreadsheets. You need a budget, projections, profit, loss, and balance sheet. You need to have at least a bookkeeper, if not an accountant, and then have basic financial freedom plan in place. These are the things we help you with in the group program. Okay. So as you're rolling this out, okay, now you want to start, I would recommend you all start a budget and projections now and get a bookkeeper. Who does not have a bookkeeper or an accountant? If you don't have either of those, you need those now. You need at least one. You get a book. Start with a bookkeeper because it's cheaper, 30, 40, 50 bucks an hour. Accountant won't, that'll be like, you only really need the accountant to submit things. Your bookkeeper will help set up and take care of your Xero account or similar. Most of you, if I had a look at your finances, would be a mess. You don't have to be making $1 million a year to organize your finances. You should be organizing your finances immediately. Do I recommend Xero at this stage? I recommend finding a bookkeeper you trust and like, and using whatever they recommend. That's what I recommend. Xero is the most popular. My bookkeeper uses Xero. Yeah. My bookkeeper does like 20, 30 hours a week. It's like, yeah, it's costs like 500 to 1,000 a week just for bookkeeping. But we have a lot going on, right? So yeah. That's why we use a direct debit company as much as possible, because everything's cleaner and tidier for her. If everything is individual through Stripe or PayPal, or that's just a mess. Yeah, that's why I like most of you pay weekly on a Friday and it goes into account in one go. We separate US and Australia, so we separate GST, which we're doing at the moment. Internationals go cardless, being set up at the moment. Australia goes and PaySmart. So we've set up a system that's really streamlined and easy for her as well. You know, having your account set up properly, having your business account, having your personal account, having a savings and investing account, setting things up, having a plan for that is really important as well. Yeah. Um, yeah, cool. And that's it. So I guess my question to you is what's your next step? What's your next step based on what I've shared with you? Okay, that I've shared with, what's your next step? Is it to focus on getting 10 clients? Is it to get the website? Is it to get the ads going? Is it to launch a group? What's your next step? What's your primary focus? Always choose one main thing and make that your main focus. Yeah, so organize, find a bookkeeper as soon as possible, Nicole. Just go to Google. There's many of them. Treat them like you would any team member. Interview 3 or 4 of them. Okay. And get feedback. Find out which one, you intuitively have a gut feeling about. Everyone else, what's your next step, guys? What is your next step? 10 clients. Yep. Yep. Cool. Awesome. Yeah. Start with the foundation. Lay this foundation. This foundation here. This is what we're doing in the group, in the program right now. And again, I just want to encourage you guys to remember it's a mindset game, and it is a game. People can win, people can lose, but the only way you can lose the game of business is what? There's only one way you can lose the game of business. If you bloody quit. Bloody quit. You drop the ball, you get sick, something happens, just pick up the ball, keep running. Just never stop until the next year, 2 years, 3 years is going to go by. It might take you 3, 4, 5 years. Melissa, if it takes you 3 years to get to 100,000 a month, would you really have a problem if 3 years from now you're making 100,000 a month? Would you have a problem with that? I'm pretty sure you would not have a problem with that. It's going to go by anyway. Be patient with results, but impatient with activity. We overestimate what we can do in 12 months, but underestimate what we can do in 3 to 5 years. Financial freedom is a 1,000-day recipe. Building 7 figures in 3 years is that's not a bad goal. I like to do it in 12 months, but that's me. Slow is painful, fast is fun. But don't be too hard on yourself. Have high standards, create urgency, but don't be too hard on yourself around things you cannot control. If you're doing the work and you're showing up, you're following the system, you're working on your mindset, doing all the right things, patient with results, but impatient with activity. Awesome. Well, hopefully that adds some value to you guys. What was everyone's biggest takeaway today? It was hopefully we built some more belief. Hopefully we created some clarity. Hopefully you're feeling more inspired to think larger and aim bigger. Put this stuff on your vision board. Put it into your planner. Do some 3, 4, 5 year planning. Map it all out. Think about it every day. Plan about it every day. Manifest and dream and scheme about it every day. Make this an integral part of your conscious thoughts each and every day until it becomes a reality. That's the key. All right. Awesome. Well, everyone have a great day. Future plan systems in place. Yeah. I look forward to speaking to everyone soon. Thank you, guys.